he shouldn't exist in the game at this point. Like, he's less competitive than Techies was. That's how bad this hero was. Like, I actually just don't know why. Like, they just forgot he exists.
I mean, maybe it's just one of these things where if you build a hero around invisibility, that's something that everyone knows how to counter on the high levels.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's if you build a hero around that, then there's always going to be that disadvantage, quote unquote.
Yeah, I kept saying he needs to stop being as like so much of a like it's terrible base hero, because like he has the worst stat gain in all of Dota, and he has the worst agi gain of all agi heroes, and like the 5th lowest agi gain in the entire game, or something like that. Yeah, he has like one of the worst agi gains in the entire game, and it's all because like it's a really fine balance with the backstab multiplier having a bunch of extra agi. You know, it's like just make him more of like a regular hero stat wise, so that he doesn't suck so much. Like, and then make him less like a cheese hero, similar like how Broodmother got treated over the years.
Got 2.6 strength gain, but 1.4 agi gain. Holy shit!
Yeah, it's one of the worst in the game.
It is crazy. It's also crazy is going up the high ground with no vision, like Brewmaster's right here.
Yeah. He's just tanking the gank, for his bottom lane cuss.
Yep. Guys, I found them.
He did get a good ward down. Actually, this is one of my favorite wards that has been getting plays pretty.
Oh, man.
I like this one a lot.
Right smack dab in the middle of the river. Yeah. No one's dewarding that one anytime soon.
No one ever deward. It's like you can't commit a sentry to deward it. It's not worth it. But it's a really good ward. Smoke did pop on the Razor here as they head up, and they've got vision of Beyond.
They know Beyond pops the
PKB
here, and PK's out. Okay.
Good call to just leave. Tiny's gonna do the same
as well. All right.
A little bit of a misplay on the Shaman there. Maybe he got like fogged on the tree or something for just a split second. And he couldn't get the Hex off. It's hard to say.
Well, Deadline get away with it. It's again not really forced into full engagement here when the Aegis was still around. So. IG Vitality is still getting some map control off of that, farming the dire jungle, like kind of forcing Dandelion to move away from them, not play a bit scared here in this case of the Scarab.
Radiant's bottom tower
might actually get another D ward here. Just got a sentry delivered, and there's a high ground ward here that he can take care of. Yeah, it's QYQX. Ah, it's fine, guys. They have no vision in the river.
Yeah, don't worry about it. That's what I'm saying. It never gets dewarded. No one ever put the sentry that covers this region.
Yeah.
It's such a fun ward to place.
Like, even if you don't put the sentry up on the high ground, you'd put it closer to the rune spot, just to cover those other high ground areas.
Very good. We can talk a little bit about the Razor. He did just buy a casual plate mail. That is it. Now he's going for the refresher here. So the double BKB, double Eye of the Storm, double Static Link, the classic Razor build here.
Yep.
Shaman. That is very scary, sir. I don't know. Instant smoke actually from Dandelion here. Wow.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Something wrong with the indicator because it says Razor has 10 armor for me.
Yeah, it bugs. It says the same thing for me. He does have the plate mail, so it's 10 plus 10.
Okay. Very good.
20 for the math challenge people out there.
Yes. Coming from an NA person, that's actually quite a sick burn.
I'd have to clarify for Neff sometimes, honestly. Just to make sure he's aware of the numbers.
Let's pray for the best here. Both teams were smoked up, Dandelions has expired, but they're sitting on the high ground here. Not quite.
They're just out of vision on the side of Dandelion here.
The smoke will break.
They are both so close to each other, and they know it, but they can't do anything about it.
Yeah. They know, but they don't know precisely. You know, not enough to initiate off.
They're just gonna go. They want to fight. They don't have the vision though, and this is gonna be very difficult for them to play around.
Yeah. Smoke will break. They'll realize. All right, vision is up there.
Instant
LG can't really make it up. What the hell, Shaman?
And sometimes you get punted into the enemy team and die. It's pretty funny. Io caught by the tornado into the hands of the Tiny. So, very cool. And he's looking for more. He's got another Cyclone ready. He can force the BKB out the Razor, maybe.
The kick on Morphling here slowed down, but there's no follow-up here. Yeah, exactly as I said, force the BKB instead. LG silenced up to protect ZC as the ultimate. I don't see the Skyro ultimates.
Yeah, it's a spectator. It's actually not even a spectator bug. It's been just a bug in the game for like a year and a half now, where like Mystic Flare just will not show up. Like the actual animation for it is just gone. I don't know.
It's not
what
important anyway,
it.
right? It's just tons of damage that you need to dodge.
It's just like 1,000 damage nuke or something. It's fine.
God damn it! Finding all the bugs right here in this game.
Yeah, it's been in the game for a very long time, but I don't know how it just hasn't been fixed. Oh, he's going. Do it, Tusk. Oh, he's not going. And this deep ward is paying dividends right now for the side of Dandelion, but another smoke in from Vitality. Dude, these teams just want to brawl, man.
Yep. And there's a Shaman, but silenced up immediately again. Try and burst him down. Okay, yep. Just snap him.
Ready to watch Pango get, like, removed from the game? Bonk.
Kicking around. Almost trapped him in the shots here, but there's no way out for him. Silenced up, snowball on top, couple fish punches, couple tree punches.
Good stuff.
All the punches in the world. Exorcism still going for a little bit. They can't quite get Roach with it because the big boy has not respawned yet.
Who needs a Grimstroke or a Bloodseeker to counter the Pango when you can just pick the Tusk?
Let's kick him around. Lol.
He was aiming for the cliff. You know, he almost got it, too. He was aiming for the cliff, but didn't quite get it.
Shaman.
Shadow Shaman.
Three times in a row, but he just dies.
Yeah. This is so scary now. Like, this Tiny does a ton of damage with this Silver Edge. He's on his way to a Satanic.
Reason for him to be that far forward if he has a blink, right?
He was gonna go try and put a ward down. Like,
yeah,
the ward in, like, the center of the lane there is always really value. They're gonna back for the Roshan. They have Exo? No, but it's still not up. It was a super long Roach. It was like 2.5 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Dire structures are fortified.
I have to hold Primal Split? Not really, no. It's Skyroth is the chosen one. Sitting inside the pit.
Rotation coming, and SJ's just here to burn it. There it is.
It's created. Roshans respawn, they know about it instantly. So this Brew Split, not as much of a waste as you might think. Like, you can screen for IG Vitality for a little bit more.
Going for the wraparound stance catches.
LG, they see him, linking forward into the silence, pre-cast, Summer finishes him off, damage is being drained. Doesn't matter, Stranger trying to keep himself alive beyond runs and down. Somebody's even give it them about the damage drain. Master dead, the shots not quite blocking anything off.
He's still 182 damage. He's still got 420 to work with, no big deal. Yeah, that is unreal. Man. I don't know how this hero is in Dota right now.
Oh, go Science again, but you get the X up on Summer. He's still alive though, Lotus also protect him, and now another toss. He needs to leave though to kick away from the Razor. Keep Summer safe. Stranger tries
the
to
silence caught Io.
That was never gonna work out.
You know,
let's see, man, what a player.
This whole game, he has been kicking heroes, you know, into his team. He finally kicks the Razor away, and it's the impact, like, cannot be stated. Summer 100% was dead there if it wasn't for that. Now Summer's about to have a Satanic, so good luck killing this hero once he has it.
This one tiny just is.
This is a fun game to watch. Like at the end of the day, like this is a very enjoyable game to watch. It is hilarious.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, is there a possibility of the game not being enjoyable when there's a task with axe involved? I don't think there
Maybe.
is. Also, it's got the shot now, which makes the eye shots very long, which also is hilarious. Can draw all new pictures with that. Yeah, Dandelion, fresh ages. All you need to do is just push down some lanes and probably go straight high ground here. There's a glyph available for Vitality to help them out with that, but how do they win a team fight now? LG, like, he needs to roll in.
Tiny also just like will kill your building in like 10 auto attacks, so
Yeah.
all right.
Gotta roll in.
Whoa,
And
he
what?
canceled
What
his
happened?
roll.
What?
He got shard trapped and like knew he was in trouble. Was just gonna try and end it and run, like swash away, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, that didn't happen. That didn't work out. Kind of the Skyrock. I mean, his silence as well was just pre-cast. Just tie game on like on Kango or Shaman, whatever they blinked into. Yeah, the base not gonna last long when it's a big old tree hammering away at the buildings. It's just sitting there, not even hitting it across the cliff. There's nothing they can do about it. It's a 5% brew with just the Agnum Scepter. Didn't feel the need to go for a Spirit Vessel this game.
Yeah, I thought he would too, and instead he's just going to go for the Aeon Disc, make sure he always gets these Primal Splits off, which super valuable. I mean, Brewmaster is just a very impactful hero as long as he gets Primal Split off. So we've already seen it in the fights. It's super annoying for him to deal with, just either cycloning up like the Morphling or one of the supports, or even the Razor. But like, you have two heroes on the side of Dandelion who just remove two heroes from the team fight. Like, you have Tusk who's just gonna kick someone away, or you have like the Brewmaster who's just gonna cyclone someone, and then you just have this Tiny who can literally do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It's a fun draft to watch.
In some ways, Tiny also just removes someone from a team fight very quickly.
Yeah, if he, hits him with his
just kill
stick, they get deleted.
Error 404, hero not found. That's what appears on the screen at that point.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
That's the last lane of Rex under threat, so this is the last fight perhaps for ID Vitality. They need to pull out something out their hats here. Perhaps the Hex to start with. It's good, but the Lotus protect them further. LG.
Yeah, like, Zetsy's been so on point at dealing with this Pango, it's unbelievable.
Now he's dead. Offensive Shaman Woods. Don't you have to really engage with those? Jump forward. He just gets tossed out of the swashbuckle. He's dead. Shaman falls. The block.
Who cares backdoor protection, dude? Tiny's just gonna kill it anyway.
Yeah. Well, kinda low. Still has the lasers fall back on. Throughout all of this, they can just easily go back in. Zetsy. Alright. That lift lasted a little bit longer.
Target. He's looking. He's hungry. Yeah, the Skyrock particles just not being in the game is so bad. I can't believe it's still like this.
The sound right now, but not for long, as Kyo thank you, dude. Trying to turn into Tiny, try and get his power, but that's not quite how it works. Not for this hero.
Well, they got Megas. 32,000 gold lead here, 36 minutes into the game. And there it is. There they are. That's what I'm talking about. The 4-player tip onto the mid laner. Yeah.
Keeps from IO.
Very good.
Quality entertainment right here, ladies and gentlemen. Closing in on the 1k gold advantage per minute mark. The universal.
This is why you don't tip in games unless you know you're gonna win. That is rule number one.
Absolutely. Well, yeah,
they just tap out. They actually just GG out. You know it's over.
Can't deal with megas. They don't have heroes for it. Bit anticlimactic now, but it is inevitable.
Yeah, they like look at the state of the game. They're like, yeah, we don't know. Like, there's no answer for the Tiny at all. Oof. The Tusk is just such a nuisance. Like that. Like I said, like their draft is hilarious to watch, and it's ridiculous that it works in the way that it does. But yeah, I mean, Tiny had just the freest game. 8-0-6.
Oof. 8-0-6 Tiny. And the thing about said Tiny here, Cryptic, is not only did he achieve this by having a good game with a very fun draft with the squad, he went for that first item moonshot, right? Take a guess at how much faster. It's obviously the fastest moonshot of all time, right? We all know that. Take a guess how much faster we're talking here in terms of where the average timing is going to be for the fastest ones. How fast do you think it was?
Dude, like I'm trying to think if there's ever been a hero in Dota that would go Moonshard first item. And I don't think there ever has been. So the fastest Moonshard maybe would have probably been around like 22, 23 minutes.
Okay, it's not that slow. The average time on this item in the last year has been about 22 minutes on this. This Tiny here, the fastest before this was Zitrax in 2020, getting it at 14 minutes, 24 seconds. Second fastest before that was 17:54. But today he went 13 minutes, 15 seconds into this moonshot item. Absolutely broke the game apart. And then obviously, to make it even crazier, less than 90 seconds later, he has access to the moonshot and he's going about just dominating the game. It was honestly incredible to watch coming in here from Dandelion Esports Club, and they very much deserve to get themselves into Division 1, which they have guaranteed with this here win. But at the end of the day, it's not just the Tiny. It's not just Major Farm. Everything came together like poetry, but I really want to highlight, and I hate doing this. If you've ever crossed with me, you know I hate talking about core players, but ZC Tusk, drag and drop, my God, just my God.
A bit of a rough start, but Tusk is the kind of hero that he can still do his job. You know, the moment you get that Aghanim Scepter, the hero just changes. The moment you add the blink on top of that, it's just a very powerful initiation, because it's also very different, because you're not bringing yourself to the enemy, not just doing that, you're bringing the enemy to your team, where all the damage is going to come from, and we also saw the saving utility from that. Might see it in highlights going forward, and it's just so incredibly versatile.
Yeah,
and in the right hands, it looks amazing.
Yeah, he did play it super well. Like he clearly has played this matchup into the Pango before, because he made this Pango's life so miserable. Yep. But he got a little overconfident like early on in this game. Like he had a couple deaths he probably shouldn't have had, but seemed to not really matter all that much in the grand scheme of things, because like this is where the game like really kind of turns on its head here. Yep. Dandelion, they get their BKBs off, like they survive the Razor's initiation, and then suddenly it's just like, bomb. Let me introduce you to Tiny again.
This is so frustrating, right? He rolls onto you. He's like, where are you going, fam? Come back. There's still a fight for you to take. Get involved, you know, be a part of this. This was terrifying. This fight here, honestly think that lost them the game. Yet again, we see ZC coming in super, super clutch in this situation. But the thing that really broke this particular fight apart was LG. He went in without utilizing the Rolling Thunder first and foremost. As we're going to see Summer being saved here by ZC. But our Cryptic, why didn't he use the roll? If he rolls into that Roshan pit, this entire game is very different, but the fact that he goes in first, dies immediately, and his team has to try and defend 4v5, like this Pango, it really did feel like he was a little bit off the pace with when and where he was supposed to initiate with the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, he definitely didn't have like the buyback, right? That was like the big deal. Like if he goes in and dies, but he has buyback, like maybe you can say like you can still take the fight. But the fact that he goes in, dies, doesn't have buyback is pretty rough. He did blink into what he thought, because there's like a cubby right in the Roche pit, like on that top corner where you can see outside of the Roche pit, but no one can see you. There's like a few different places on the map that are like this, and that's where he tried to blink, but I think he missed it just slightly by like the couple units off, and that's the only reason he got caught. So yeah, it was just unfortunate for him. He was trying to make a cheeky play and then go for like a rolling thunder out probably, but gets caught on the silence. And this is the one thing I was talking about in the draft. Like the silence from Scarth Mage makes Pango's life so miserable because he doesn't want to build a Yules, he doesn't want to build a BKB, and you can't use roll up or rolling thunder, right? If the Scarth catches you. So yeah, I mean, Pango just had a terrible game. Like it's not like he played bad. It's just he's playing against Tusk Skywrath. Like he can't do anything.
I mean, just as an indication of how bad the game ended up being for him, look at these damage numbers. He got out damaged, of course, by the said Skywrath Mage. And just all over the map, it just felt like Dandelion was getting what they needed. This Morphling as well here, Drag and Drop. I know that they went for this as the last overall pick of the draft. They were depending on Ukyo making this work for the squad. But it just did it. This Morphling just felt so underwhelming practically the entire game here. Never really felt like he actually got a chance to play Dota or actually even look like a carry at all in this particular series.
Yeah, without the E-Blade, just a normal carry, quote unquote, right? We're just like, oh yeah, we gotta build right click. You're gonna have that advantage of being survivable, but none of that matters if your entire team dies around you, and if you don't have a way to really get on top of people and take them out of the fight quickly. That was never really a given. In the way that the draft was shaping up for Dandelion. So it's a pretty rough game for him. Like he needed to be super far ahead to be a threat up against all the health points here, all of the utility and control. And he just never got to that point.
Well, they never got to that point in the game for IG Vitality, but Dandelion did grab the victory, and they have gotten themselves not just pole position, as you can see on the leaderboard, but they have guaranteed themselves entry into Division 1. So congratulations to Dandelion Esports Club for being able to achieve this feat. Unfortunately, though, we do have to say goodbye to IG Vitality. They have to go back and try and compete once more in the open qualifiers, return and see if they fare better in the upcoming season. Of course, though, it's been a very rough road for them coming to this point. They have been getting slowly but surely slightly better game on game. And Cryptic, if the form they've shown in this series against what's arguably, not even arguably, guaranteed the best team in the division, if they'd started the season like this, would they still be staring down the barrel at relegation, or would things look a little bit different for IGV?
I mean, I saw there was a couple games with like IGV where I didn't feel like they were actually, that far off of getting a couple more wins. But yeah, there's some things that need to be fine-tuned here, that we might see some roster changes, but for the most part, I think this was probably one of the strongest showings we've had on this team yet.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, we've actually had a slight roster change already. CSJ, the original offlaner for the squad, hasn't been playing the last few series with them, so that could be a situation where they've already decided to make some kind of replacement. Definitely, it has helped them look a little bit stronger, but unfortunately, not strong enough. So they'll be having to make their trek through the open qualifiers yet again. But we're not done with the day of Dota. Dandelion is going up into Div 1. IG Vitality down into the open qualifiers, eliminated from Div 2. However, Shenzhen and Phoenix Gaming, for Shenzhen, their fate is already sealed. We know that come hell or high water, they will be a part of Division 2 next season. For Phoenix Gaming, they unfortunately have a similar predicament to IG Vitality, whereas today is the last time they have to demonstrate that they can still hang with the big boys and stay in the DPC. Drag and Drop, do you think they've got this? Phoenix Gaming hasn't been the easiest road for them, but they've taken some surprising wins. Can they bring this out? Can they stay in the division, or will they be joining IGV, looking in from outside the club?
Yeah, it's a tough question. I want to believe, because I kind of like the Phoenix boys, but it's going to be rough. Like if they don't do it now, then it's going to be very hard up against SAG later on down the line. In my heart, I want to believe in them, but my brain says probably not. I want to rate. I want to rank YBB just a little bit higher.
Well, unfortunately as well, Cryptic, Phoenix Gaming do have the unfortunate scenario where they had a default loss already afforded against them, so they necessarily have to win all their remaining games and still hope that YBB drop a series down the line here or there. Do you think that this is possible for them, or are the circumstances just a little bit too difficult for them to combat at this stage?
Excuse me, great timing. Oh, God. All right. take the question. I can't speak right now.
Oh, lol. All cryptic busy sneezing. You see that? This is how you know he's a professional broadcaster, right? Instead of being forced to answer a question he doesn't want to, he's like, let's have a young sneezing fit. That way I get to still remain the good guy. He doesn't have to play bad cop. Shout out All Cryptic. This is why this man's immortal here, because he understands how to play the game both in and out of Dota. What a legend. What a guy.
Okay, now that my eyes are sufficiently watering, hit me with that question one more time.
Basically, despite the fact that Phoenix have that default loss against them, is there hope, effectively, for them to be able to make something happen today?
Yeah, I mean, if Shenzhen's not like unbeatable, you know, they're definitely like middle of the pack. So if Shenzhen has like a bad day, you know, Phoenix could pull this one out. Absolutely.
Alrighty, let us see in that upcoming series whether or not that is going to be taking place. But for now, we are going to be taking a short break here. Dandelion Esports Club, first team to go into Division 1. However, stick around for the rest of the week to see who will be joining them and unfortunately who will be joining IG Vitality at the other side of the table in the relegation zone. For now, Snare, All Cryptic, and Dragon Drop will be signing off. Short break, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes and we'll be continuing with the Div 2 hype, continuing with the Spring Tour, and continuing with some more Dota 2 action.
So, who wants to play a game?
My favorite. Let me.
No, me! Try me now. Up and down. No, this. Ooh. Next.
Dan! What's this thing? Let's find out. How much is in there? And again! Guess we better.
Yep.
It's just as high as we can go.
Expertise.
There's something off about you. It's in the bag.
Watch me now. Yoo-hoo! I always get what I want. In the bag.
Nice!
Such talent. Such sorceress. You're doing good.
You too! Where are you?
You want me? Come get me.
Welcome back, one and all, here to the DPC Spring Tour. We're in the Chinese region, still in Division 2, and we're going to be continuing the day's action and the day's hype. We have come now into the second series of the day. We have Shenzhen against Phoenix Gaming, and of course, we've swapped out our casters as well. We've got B-Cop, we've got Nomad, and gentlemen, Nomad, I'm going to start with you. Were you watching the last series by any chance?
I tuned in for the last game. Yeah, I was sleeping. You know, it's still early days, but yeah. I mean,
That's
about
weak.
that last game, you know, I'm kind of wondering how IGV took a game off DC of Dandelion, because they look pretty damn good on Dandelion for that last game.
Yep. Dandelion really, really good. And Dandelion, because they won, they found themselves getting promoted into Division 1. But BCOP, on the other side of things, IGV, sadly, because they lost, found themselves in a relegation spot. And unfortunately, they're not the only ones today who have to be fighting against that particular win. Shenzhen will have at least secured themselves a at least comfortable and decent mid-table finish, you know, doing a young Brentford here. But unfortunately, Phoenix Gaming might be going the way of like a Norwich City, looking like if they lose this game, definitely going to be relegated. So do you think it's going to be playing on their minds the fact that this might be their last chance to stay in the division?
Definitely. You know, they're also dealing with that penalty of a series loss without playing a series. So it's been tough for them coming out here, getting a little bit of that Sheffield Wednesday treatment when you lose points for no reason. And yeah, they're kind of just struggling to stay up for air. But they've got the Norwich situation, Shenzhen. They're my boys as Brighton, you know, middle of the pack. Don't disturb anybody. Just do your thing. And yeah, you know, this is a win to end the season that could put you even ahead of IG potentially. If you end 4-3 and IG end 4-3, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, we're as good as IG. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
why not?
What are you guys doing, guys? Like, I come here to escape from football talk. I live in the football country and I hate it. And now I come here and you guys are making all these references. Give me a break, please.
There is no escape from football lingo. Listen, if me and B-Cup are on this together, the weeb talk, the football talk, you're going to get all of it, my G. There's no avoiding it. There's no dodging it. But for Phoenix Gaming, if they do lose today, there's also no dodging relegation for them. So they need to come up with something as special to keep themselves in the division. Fortunately, playing against a Shenzhen squad who don't really have a horse in this race might be a little bit easier if Shenzhen don't care as much about the outcome of the game. But that'll all come down and depend on how they decide to make the game work out. And draft is where a lot of this is going to be centered here, Nomad. So before we go into the draft in a second, tell me, are we expecting any surprises, any out-of-pocket picks here for Phoenix Gaming?
I mean, this has been a very, very safe division too, you know, when it comes to picking things which are off the wall, when it comes for doing things differently. That hasn't really been the case down here. You know, we don't have many niches coming out. So, you know, we might see them going back towards their favorites, but there's nothing for them which they pick which is particularly different than anyone else. Maybe some anti-mage, you know, maybe some of that Weaver. Was it Weaver mid they pulled against YBB or something like that? I think it was maybe Weaver offlane. I don't know. They played Weaver somewhere weird. So, you know, they are capable of doing things a little bit differently, but in terms of anything like absolutely crazy, probably not. We'll probably just see like a standard draft. But yeah, I mean, Phoenix do like to do things a little bit differently to other teams. You know, they had that Dawnbreaker game as well. I'd love to see that coming out from them as well, actually. If they can pull out Dawnbreaker, then I'd be a happy man.
I would love to see the Dawnbreaker as well, but we do have a draft on our hands, so these answers or these questions will be answered fairly shortly. Shenzhen, they had themselves the second pick, responding to the first pick, Coddle, from the side of Phoenix by going in for the Bane Sand King opener. So obviously this is a Division 2 in China where there's a lot of safety in Bane, Bane just a safe hero overall. Sand King now emerging for the third time today, but Phoenix here, B-Corp, they are not messing about, my friend. Straight up, Coddle, Medusa. Medusa's only lost like what, twice in the lower division? So they're like, you know what? Bank on the one that's been winning all of these games. We're gonna go back for the big hero. And we have the Coddle backup as well to make the hero even stronger than she normally is in these games.
Yeah, you know, Medusa, I'm strong because I play Medusa. Well, they're, you know, you still gotta play pretty well. You gotta farm your lane, as we saw yesterday with who was it who had the stand in the safe lane? Oh yeah, it's RNG. They were playing with Flyby, safe lane, Medusa. Yeah, that's cool. You pick an OP hero. Well, now you got to win with it. It's only lost, I believe, 3 times throughout the Chinese DPC, which has coincidentally come every time on the Dire. So it's on the Radiant this time. So my analysis ends at Phoenix winning this game. Cool.
Phoenix win the game easy. All right, you know, man, that's some good analysis. Nice and easy. We already know exactly what's going to happen. Shenzhen, though, now it's up to them here, Nomad, to try and figure out a way to deal with this Medusa. As Bcop was mentioning, it has very rarely lost across both divisions here in China, and there has not been a reliable answer against the hero either. What do you think that Shenzhen are going to try and pivot towards to try and make sure they can deal with this Medusa? Is this going to be a situation where they try and challenge it into the late game, or are we going to see a juggernaut like PSG LGD did yesterday to try and push the tempo faster than Medusa can?
Pushing. I mean, if you're going to push tempo against Medusa, you need to make sure she loses her lane. That is the fundamental idea there, because Medusa can still be a really strong hero in the early game if she has a decent time in lane. So first you need to shut her down, then you need to push the tempo. And I don't think you can do that with Sand King. So you're only in a bit of trouble here where this lane is just very, very easy for the Medusa if she's in the safe lane. Yeah, so I think you can't really try that idea too much. What I would like to see coming out from Shenzhen instead is just kind of waiting and getting yourself some really good catch. I think the best thing you can do to play against a Medusa is skirmish, rather than committing to like full-on team fights and trying to like play the game in Phoenix's way and just kind of let her slug her way over to objectives. Play faster around the map. I don't mean play faster as in push the tempo really fast, but like play faster around the map, go for objectives, split off into like groups of 2 and 3 and make plays like that. And I think that's why we see the hero do so well as well, because the hero excels in kind of team fights, and you know, we don't see teams going for these smaller plays. We don't see them splitting off and going for 2 or 3 man ganks as much, especially in Division 2. It just doesn't happen so much. So I feel like Phoenix are kind of, you know, they're definitely on something first phase in this Medusa, and I think it's a great idea. Yeah, let's see what Shenzhen can do. I mean, I just want to see. I already don't like their support duo too much. Bane Phoenix, it's okay. It's not bad. It's okay. But I would have liked to see something more like maybe the Clockwork for them instead, or go for something like, I don't know, just something which can make more things happen is what I would like to see.
We'll see. They'll probably have to like pivot towards trying to get some of that activity out of the mid lane that you're mentioning. Phoenix here going for the puck right after the Clockwork. One thing I do like about this Phoenix is just being able to have percent-based damage against Medusa is really, really nice, and just Fire Spirit's also quite effective against the hero. They right now don't have the best egg hitters in the world on Phoenix, but they are capable of getting to the egg to try and deal with it. The curious question though here, Bcop, we heard Nomad mention that they want to be able to do more stuff on the Shenzhen draft. Probably they're going to be waiting for the last pick before they decide what Kaikyo is going to play, so I'm expecting the mid hero to come out here. The spirits have been mostly banned out with the sole exception of Void Spirit. We saw Tusk middle being played earlier today, and I think Tusk is a really good hero against these positioning-based heroes like Park, Clockwork. Is there any chance that Shenzhen also go for that weird pocket pick of a hero? Oh, no, never mind. It's Other Spirit. Never mind.
I was going to say no anyway. Tusk mid is more just a dandelion thing. At least specifically from what we've been seeing, ZC kind of likes it. And I actually don't even like that he plays it mid. I mean, I like when that hero does get farm and does a lot of things, but we have seen, like, they're not going to get away with that in Division 1, and I'll warn them now, when your mid doesn't get a lot of farm, and yes, he does a lot with that early game and damage and that level 6 and the Tusk and all that, but like when he starts to fall behind at the 22-minute mark, they're just not going to get away with a Tusk mid come Division 1 when they end up doing that. I like the Void Spirit. It's all right. I mean, it moves, it gets locked down, it's kind of checking some boxes, but you're still going up against a puck. Like right now, Shenzhen, they've got their Initiator, they've got Team Fight, they have Singular Lockdown. I think they are checking boxes, but they definitely need a way to make sure they can work and kill this Medusa.
Yeah,
I don't seem to have a win con just yet, right?
I'm not a big fan. They don't have that carry here yet. No, I'm not a big fan of this Void Spirit pickup though. I think its laning versus Puck is okay. It's not fantastic. It's okay. They ban the other 2 spirits and pick up the Void Spirit themselves. So I also want to point out that this is an underpicked hero in China for sure. Across the DPC regions, Void Spirit has like 23% pick rate, which is it's reasonable. It's definitely in the bulk where most heroes are. In China, though, it goes down to 13%, so about half as contested in China compared to the DPC as a whole, which really suggests that they don't like this hero over here. And I think that's for good reason as well. I think the hero is a little bit weaker, especially when you compare it to the other spirits right now, and I think Puck is just the hero I'd much rather have, honestly. I'd much rather have the Puck. You get to level 6 and this Void Spirit is just not going to have a good time.
It is kind of peculiar that they did decide to pick the Void Spirit into the puck, despite knowing that they already have roots available. Now suddenly as the Void Spirit, you're thinking, all right, I still want the early Aghanim Scepter. It's sort of a requirement for me to play my game properly, but I have to start thinking about Yules and the like to deal with the silence, maybe a BKB a little bit later on. It's a bit peculiar, but they must have a plan for this, getting it right after the puck into the clockwork as well. Or rather, I hope they have a plan for this. Still have to see what those last pick for themselves. Phoenix, what's left for banning out? They take out this Life Stealer, so that will not be available for Kaikyo. The other Kaikyo hero that's still left in the game here is the Wraith King, something that he's played a ton of. Doesn't seem like necessarily the best game for it, but with this Doom ban, they might be angling towards that direction anyway, but maybe not anymore. Playing into Underlord, percent-based damage reduction, a way to be able to move around the map, a way to be able to ensure that you can't really get to the Medusa easily. Another route for the Void Spirit. Man, Phoenix have made sure that they close out this draft in a way that makes this game a lot more difficult for Shenzhen than it was just one pick ago.
All right. I mean, I like this. This is the biggest thing they were missing in this draft for Phoenix was a large AoE lockdown ability. Pit, it's okay. It does the job. It's what you needed. Would have preferred something like the Mars, but obviously that was banned out first phase. Tidehunter would have been great as well, but that was banned out in the most recent phase. So, I'll take it.
You'll allow it.
And that's the jug.
Look at this. This is the hero we were speaking about a little bit earlier on, Bcop, about whether or not Shenzhen will go for this Juggernaut to contest into the Medusa. So, stealing strats from PSG LGD, and they decide that this is the direction that we want to go. Great kind of hero pickup to get, but the thing I'm confused about, Nomad, when I see this Juggernaut hero emerging at the very end of the draft is whether or not Shenzhen know how to play this hero fast enough and know how to itemize him in a way that's going to enable him to flourish. Yesterday, we saw, of course, coming in from Ame that he went like early Battle Fury, but he got it at like 13 minutes. I doubt that's happening for Shenzhen all that much. So what are you expecting here out of the Kaikyo Juggernaut? And do you think it's going to be good enough? Is it a decent enough answer to address the CDR Medusa?
I mean, it is, right? Like, it's kind of that tempo hero, which you mentioned before. You know, he can play fast, but I think more importantly, you know, he can take objectives and he offers a lot of staying power on the map with that healing ward as well. Those two things make him a pretty strong adversary for the Medusa, and I think it's what they needed. But again, as you say, you know, making this Juggernaut work into the Medusa, that's kind of the tricky thing. Would have been nice for them to be able to pick up something like the Anti-Mage or something, but I'm fairly sure it was banned out earlier on, so we won't be seeing that. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's kind of just enables them to play the game they need to play. But again, I'll go back to this point as I made previously. I still don't think they've got the killing power, you know, between them to... Well, they do have the killing power. I just don't think they're going to be able to execute that killing power in Shenzhen to be able to really take this game. So I'm going to go for Phoenix in this one. It's an easy bet, I would say.
All right, easy bet for Phoenix. A confident bet as well coming in from no bet there. All right, I will say I believe in Sand King, man. This hero's really good, I feel. So I'm going to put my faith in Sand King. Let's see what's going to be happening here in game number 1. An important game for Phoenix Gaming, not so much for the side of Shenzhen. Where do you fall on this, Norman? How do you feel about like the mentality of players when games literally don't matter? Do you think it affects the performance in the game?
Depends on the team. Depends on the team entirely. Some teams, you know, LGD have this mentality where if it's a DPC game, they will play it to 100% of their ability. They're not going to clown around. They're not going to mess around. They're going to take the win, and they're going to play for everything. Other teams don't have that same mentality, but I think, you know, this being the China region, everyone is influenced by the top. So I reckon we're going to see a pretty sweaty performance coming out for Shenzhen here. They don't want to drop a game. They want to be able to put the heat onto Phoenix Gaming.
The heat onto Phoenix Gaming with the Phoenix. I see what you did there.
Absolutely. You know, it's early, but we're still sharp enough. Pushing forward for the bounty here. Keiko, it's always so tempting when you're playing Juggernaut. You got that spin and you're like, oh yeah, so much damage, but then at the same time, often you just end up getting yourself killed. And yeah, Keiko is a smarter man than me, so he's not going to go for that bounty or anything like that. They'll trade 2 for 2, so that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, double up on the bounty runes there. Safety first. And none of these teams are going to be doing any bizarre shenanigans. So now we will get a decent start to this game. Going to be quite a fun time. Well, a fun time for us seeing this game. Not so much a fun time for this Void Spirit in the mid lane going up against the Puck. He'll do fine, he'll do okay, but we generally expect Puck to be able to win out this matchup. Where are you expecting action to be happening on this map here, Nomad? Any place that we should be looking for major like clashes, some fireworks on this map in the early game?
I mean, yeah, I think these lanes probably less so top, but definitely bottom. There's a ton of kill potential. I mean, if the Clockwork's able to catch some of the battery assault, then they can maybe have a little bit of issues, but they don't really have much damage follow-up from the Medusa, so yeah, I'd say bottom lane most likely. I mean, mid is very killable as well. If someone gets a little bit too ambitious, you know, rotation could make all the difference in the mid lane.
What about you, B-Cop? Where do you see action happening on this map here as we welcome you back into it at the very beginning? It might be zone dying middle, but Ash won't be able to get the jump onto him. But yeah, tell us what you're expecting to happen in this early game here, B-Cop.
They ended up picking Underworld. I actually really like this pick. I think it's very underutilized in China, as we've seen it a lot in Western Europe, getting picked up by like Amar and OG. I'd like to see this hero do something up against this Jug. There is a little bit of control that they can offer, and Kaiko picking up the Jug, which we're seeing more on. I'm thinking Shenzhen, this top lane will be okay for them, but as the Firestorm, I think gets stronger, it might get a little bit tougher for Kaiko. They might have to move these supports over mid, make it so Void Spirit can succeed and start moving around the map. I'm not too sure how the Jug is going to do, but I hope he does well. I like seeing Kaiko play well.
Yeah, I'm always keen for a nice Juggernaut game. Heroes, I mean, he's going to have a tough lane, right? Because Underlord's just got like these fat right clicks, which means that spinning on someone is just not as tempting an option. That's what sucks. You like to feel invincible when you're going for that spin, and some games you just don't, and Underlord definitely makes you feel like you're still a piece of butter.
Oh, butter.
He's a nice hot knife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I want to cut through my butter.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I love when I struggle, when I take it right out of the fridge and I try to chop down on the butter, but it just can't, you know, slip off the edge, and it's a mess.
Yeah, then sometimes the knife is too hot, and then like the butter's slipping around on it, you know, not sticking to the knife, and you're like, it becomes a challenge. It becomes a challenge.
Yeah, definitely can be. And I've noticed this a lot in the Chinese games. I don't know if you're noticing the same thing as me, Nomad, but kills-wise, like I feel like in the early parts of these games, like while China has the fastest game times, it does feel like these early games start off super slow compared to what we used to see. Especially, I think you've been covering or seeing China long enough too with me, where YP,
yeah, he's dead.
not gonna deny the neutrals. You remember the days of 3v3 mids,
yeah,
and having fun and partying and having these fast starts. Even last year when we were working together, just like the insane tempos these teams were taking. Like the Division 2 teams especially, it feels very scared, I guess might even be the words. I have no idea, or like not formulated on how they want to go about these early games and get kills to take the advantage.
Yeah, maybe it's down to the heroes they're picking. I mean, you look at this game and it's like, yeah, you've got Clockwork who's a killing hero, but then you're pairing it with Medusa who doesn't really kill stuff. You got Sand King who could maybe kill someone, but then you got Phoenix who kind of struggles, you know? Like, the heroes aren't really... So, Sand King go for the stun to LWW, but the cogs are going to come out onto him. It might be Sand King going down. No Fairy Fire for Euster as LWW pops his, and that's going to result in a kill onto the offlaner. So beautifully done in the bottom lane there as the aggression from Shenzhen is punished by LWW.
Yeah, trying to make that lane a little bit more difficult for the Medusa, because we talked about it during the draft that like you have to make Medusa's game a little bit more difficult. You can't allow Medusa to not only lane well, but back off into the jungle freely and get stacks if they end up being made with Coddle. You usually do see a lot of stacks they get made with the Illuminate over to the triangle. So we'll have to see how that ends up going for both these teams. They want to go for Shining and they'll get the kill. He kind of stood there like he thought he could just take the brunt of that damage, surprisingly, from a great name, Drink, getting the kill.
Good old drink. That's some cool names in China Age.
so-
Oh my goodness, what the? Ash just diving in the middle lane and solo killing the puck. Okay, that wasn't in the script.
Certainly wasn't. And we talked about that matchup where it felt like Puck might have the advantage in that one, but Void Spirit right now, especially with a solo kill over mid and sitting top of the net worth, we were worried about Shenzhen and if they were going to get their movements, if the Void Spirit could feel confident enough to get that kill. I could definitely see him starting to come and maybe move around the side lanes and pick up some of these kills over there and continue their aggression.
Yeah, so one of the crazy things about the China region is that, as you mentioned, like the fastest average match time for Division 1, I'm pretty sure it's China. 32 minutes and 30 seconds is the average match time. I mean, that is insanely quick. And then over in Division 2, the average match time is 40 minutes and 37 seconds, which seems like insanely slow. So, two sides of the coin here in the China region. But, yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty action-packed laning phase from these guys so far. You know, they're kind of going at it, getting into it a little bit. You know, later on in the season, the sleeves come up, the belts get undone, the trousers come down. I'm here for it.
Certainly could, and I may be a little bit biased saying that Division 2 is way slower just because I've had a lot of YBB games, and their average match time, I swear, is about 65 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, the Division 2 is extremely slow. Like, it's 40 minutes is a very, very slow game time, so yeah, thanks YBB.
Although back in the day, when I was covering like older China, games used to be like 60 minutes each.
Good old days, the golden years.
Like, wow. 60 minutes, I don't know if everybody would call that the golden years.
If you're into
But
it, a
I'll
60-minute
take your
game
word
is
for
great.
it. Yeah.
If you're like really enjoying the game, but yeah, it's also, you know, watching them farm is you got to get good at filling time as a broadcaster with those kinds of games.
Doing it, talking to myself, like everybody who was outside the room had no idea who I was talking to. They just knew I was crazy.
Oh, dude! Like when you get a solo cast and it goes like 70 minutes, you discover new areas of yourself. You dive into your unconscious. I think it's an excellent form of therapy. You know, you really start to experience yourself in a new way.
Yeah, I'm at a minute 85. I'm talking about how my mom yelled at me because I spilled coffee or something like that. Like, it's just the therapy sessions of solo casting 85-minute China games.
90 minutes, you're like, and that was my first sexual awakening as a child. You know, it's really kind of came to light back then.
Oh, man.
Zone on the lookout, trying to grab Drink here. Drink gonna snap that coil, ripping off the band-aid, but nothing really gonna save him from the wrath of Puck, I believe. Oh, yeah,
oh my god.
Nah, he's got it.
Nightmare? Oh my gosh,
Just
Drink.
came off cooldown. Whew.
That was amazing, because he like avoided the Illuminate as well as the Illusory Orb. Tried his hardest to survive. That was really rough for a second.
Also, raindrops coming in clutch there. Kids, buy your raindrops.
I don't think that's an item I've ever purchased.
Raindrops are great. Dude, raindrops and fairy fire, and it's just the outplay kit. If you get those two items, like you're just gonna like you're gonna make the enemy feel like idiots every single time.
I try to do that. Then me myself, I look like an idiot. It's outplay central though. Like I got it sometimes. Bottom lane, looking for the epicenter on LWW.
All right, they don't like this
solo
plus
epi.
5. Yeah, but
yeah, they hate LWW.
Now they're in the tower.
That one was for him specifically.
It really was. It's fine. It's fine. Luckily, Underlord with this level 1 pit isn't too much of a threat. Not much sticking power on this boy.
Not going into the Fiend's Gate at all yet.
Boo.
I kind of like the Fiend's Gate.
Me too.
Especially the way I was watching Amar play with it, where it was like, oh, okay, go bottom, be in a fight, firestorm it, go back top. Now he's got it. Okay. Like that way more now.
Yeah. So, Void Spirit coming out of this laning phase seems to have done very, very well for himself. I mean, well, he was doing very well for himself. He was way ahead of what his last hits should have been at 10 minutes. And then he kind of decided to go and... I don't know what he was doing, really. He tried to make some rotations. It didn't really work. He spent some time in the jungle. So, yeah, I mean, average last hits for a Void Spirit at 10 minutes, though, is 48 CS. So, he's, like, very far above that. So he's still done very well, but he had a huge start to the lane, way better than he should have, and then he kind of fell off a lot. Going for the gank here onto LWW though, and that's going to work out pretty damn nicely. Double damage rune going to secure that kill. So yeah. Again, just a clockwork, but a kill's a kill. Meanwhile though, in the triangle, there's shenanigans afoot as CDR is trying to get this farm uncontested, and they're going to chase away this Bane who dares come over and see what they're up to.
Yeah, contest in quotes there for him, Drink, unfortunately. But this is what I was talking about. You can't just allow these stacks to be had for free. And not only that, you didn't just allow them to be there for free. You gave up a Bane's life and added even more gold to the equation. As bottom lane, they go out onto Shining, but Malice will make sure that they aren't too keen on pushing forward. They also have Zone coming in with the 2-man Dream Coil, and they'll go into the Omni Slash to avoid any upcoming damage. LWW goes down to Kaiko. They'll go after Shining afterwards. Supernova quite well for themselves, and they're right on. On a zone, they have found this puck, and it should be a third and will be. And once they got all 5 heroes around, it made it easier for Shenzhen, and it was really well done there by Kaiko, going into the Omni Slash, killing off the Clockwork. Then their attention is immediately on Shining.
Dude, Ash pinged him exactly where he was. I mean, admins, well, let's check this guy out. It's the AC time. Right on the puck.
That is what we all like to call vac hacking.
Yeah.
I mean, being good. Sorry.
Great call there, though. Great kill on the puck. Kind of foolhardy from Phoenix Gaming, I'd say. I mean, 12 minutes of this game, it's nice to try and defend this tower, but, you have a Medusa. She's going to want to AFK in the triangle.
Right.
Shenzhen, they want to play fast tempo, and if you try and contest objectives, which you can't reasonably contest, then you're kind of just playing into their hands and giving them an upper kind of hand in this one, so want to avoid that one.
They might have found LWW again. Yeah, Aether Remnants there, and they've caught him. Ash with another kill. I think they could have made the defense of that tier 1 bottom better. I think that they just overestimated maybe the damage that Shining was going to be able to do in that situation, because it felt like a lot of that was like Underlord trying to frontline after the Pit of Malice and output something, but trying to output something he didn't really have at the moment. Maybe not expecting 5 heroes to come bot as well.
Yep. Well, it's a big reaction from Shenzhen, but again, they should be doing that, right? You should expect them to want to do that. Yeah, I think. I mean, so they want to be thinking about mid on Shenzhen, and once they take this tower, it becomes much easier to get in on this Medusa and start to, ruffle their jimmies a little bit. Doing that, easier said than done, especially when you're going for this Aghanims or the Void Spirit. That's going to be a very long timing. So I think he's kind of at his peak now. He's going to be as strong as he's going to be for maybe 5-6 minutes or so until he has that Aghanim. So I want to see them making a play, but it's YP down at bottom, yeah.
Fiend's Grip expanded, not sure if that was entirely necessary, but that might also be the feeling of the game plan. It's like anybody we use Fiend's Grip and get a kill on is going to be fine for us. We bolster some farm here until we're finally able to make that play onto the Medusa. LWW is looking for a hook shot top, yeah. Yep. In some trouble.
Oh no, he's trying to bang the drums, but not going to be able to get it off, but is able to get the Burrow Strike away, so he's okay for the time being, and now Haystream pop from Ash. He wants to jump in on this one, gonna find Shining. Shining taking the heavy hits, but CVR comes in with that Stone Gaze to scare the Moss. Shenzhen scattering, trying to get themselves away. Yules, is it on the money? No, it's not quite. Doesn't break the coil, so we'll just have to chill under the light of the Supernova for now. Very awkward fight so far from Shenzhen, I would say. Struggling to get into it. They have wasted coil, but they've also wasted Supernova on the side of SZ. So I think I would probably consider that a win for Phoenix, honestly. Any fight which doesn't go clearly in one direction, I'm just going to say Phoenix are going to be happy about it.
I guess so. I think it's a one fight unless Shenzhen do something now that Stone Gaze is down. Like, I think if with Fiend's Group coming back up, if Shenzhen are able to go and get the Medusa now that there's no Stone Gaze, that fight is now technically retroactively a win for Shenzhen, but I think if nothing happens, then Phoenix are okay with an exchange like that.
Yeah, true.
Medusa survives and they get the Supernova, and that's exactly what they want to do. They want to move. They know that the Stone Gaze is done. They know that they're going to try and go for this and make something happen. Instead, though, they'll find LWW. Like, the idea was there, right? Like, you got Stone Gaze out, we have our big ults, we still have Epicenter, we have Omni Slash, we want to make a move. They end up finding the Clockwork instead, so it's just like, oh, darn.
The crash test dummy Clockwork, who's now on death number 5, is more than willing to just kind of place his body down and let the truck smash into him at 100 miles an hour and say, oh yeah, it did damage. Definitely did damage. And the Medusa survives because of it, so yeah, this is how you can use your body as a kind of glorified ward.
Shining just kind of TPing in mid, but they've got the hook shot on the other side of this one onto Drink, trying to make sure that they don't have a Fiend's Grip. They've already lost the Underlord.
Jug's in trouble. He tried to jump in on this.
Silence.
Oh, he's going to get taken down. That is a huge problem there. Tried to go in with the ultimate, but gets himself killed off. Now it's Shenzhen on the retreat here. Ash, though, jumping in onto the puck, getting some revenge. The grip comes down, and the kill is in. They managed to get that big kill, but the Medusa, she's still large and she's still healthy. And because of that, there will be no tier 1 tower in the middle lane for Shenzhen. So it looked really good at the start when they cock up that ulti onto the Underlord. Like, that's exactly the target you want to bring down. He is so much of their tower defense on the side of Phoenix. They can just kill him and kind of turn it into a siege. There's no way, really, that Phoenix can defend that tower. But obviously, they have their ultimates. They just throw them down, chase off the side of Shenzhen, and yeah, got themselves a kill on the Juggernaut there with that huge play, just stacking up the silences beautifully.
Yeah, silences are a big deal there. He doesn't have his Manta yet. He's unable to get an Omni Slash off to avoid anything coming in, but they still want to go. It looks like they still want to keep the pressure on, and again, that's something we talked about in the draft, how quickly this team wants to move on Shenzhen to make sure that Medusa doesn't have enough time to do anything, but is got the Manta and is keeping up with Kaiko anyway.
Yeah, Puck needs to go in and kill this healing ward, but without Blink daggers, that's very difficult, so there's nothing they can do. The Firestorms will not be enough to out-sustain the Jug. Alright, so they take the mid tower, that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do on SZ. And that's going to open up the map a lot more for them and allow them to put more pressure onto this Medusa, perhaps. Which they need to do. She's getting going. She is having a good game at the moment.
And Medusa top the net worth. Oof. That's not where Shenzhen want to be. Not that they've missed their timing yet or anything, because obviously Jug can still output a lot of damage come the later ends of this game, but Shining's dying quickly right now. If Shining gets his pipe, starts getting tankier and tankier, it might not be so easy to deal with him in the later parts of this game, even that including Puck too, who has that Blink Witchblade, so I'm a little worried for Shenzhen's timing at the moment.
Yeah.
But that was always the case, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I think they're doing well. They're doing well. I'm not massively concerned. I mean, it's just moments like this when they're all spread across the map, they're all farming up. Like, it can work, but you just need to make sure that, you know, the next engagement is a very good one. As LWW once again gonna be dropped. That's a casual kill for Shenzhen.
Being the fodder,
he really is. crash test
But
dummy clock, and meanwhile,
now they've got drink.
Yeah. Ooh,
Dream
cool.
coil. Really? I guess nightmare multiple times. Okay.
All right. Worth in the old chat, I'd say. Okay, so I mean, so basically, this is like Phoenix basically saying like we don't really care. We don't need to save our ultimates because we don't particularly want to fight at the moment. But what that does allow you to do, it gives Shenzhen an opening now where you don't have coil for the next engagement. And that coil is extremely important. In terms of enabling Medusa, you need those abilities which keep her still. And Pit on its own is not enough. You need the +1. So they do have Pit, they do have coil, they do have the cogs as well. So between a bunch of heroes here, they do have enough abilities to kind of enable their Medusa in that way, which is why I like their draft so much. But with coil down, that is the biggest one. However, Shenzhen, again, a little bit slow on the uptake, but they are moving in.
I want to go again. I'm down here bottom once more. It's like, oh, Bane just died here. Let me go back to where I died.
This is my
grave.
Would you attend your own funeral if you could?
That's always like a classic cartoon show, or like, I feel like teenage show episode.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I always wanted to see my own funeral. It's like, did you really? He threw him down, and well, they'll go for your LWW again, who had the Lotus Orb on him from the Underworld, so that bounced back the Enfeeble. Still get the kill there, though.
Oh no, I enfeebled myself as a Bane. What else should I do?
He's just sitting here in the Shadow Amulet.
He's living his best life.
He's living his chappy life.
He is indeed. Yeah, I'm so sad they changed the Enfeeble from 30% reduction in cast time to 30% reduction in cast range. It does make the ability better, but I like the cast time reduction. I found it really funny against like Pangolier and stuff like that when they just spend ages trying to get off their Rolling Thunder or something. Like a Shadow Fiend, he jumps in, he just can't get off the ulti. I want to see someone have like 100% increase to cast time. That would be so good. Imagine that.
Is that I would love for that to be a talent. If it was like plus 30% extra cast time.
That'd be so good.
To Enfeeble.
What would be the funniest hero for that to happen to? Probably Pudge and Mirana. Like, you just can't land your skill shots anymore. It takes so long to cast them.
You'd have to... See, I don't know if you've ever seen the show, The $6 Billion Man, but anytime they showed him doing, like, amazing things, it was, like, shot in slow motion, and it would look ridiculous, because it's, like, it's only shot in slow motion to show him, like, jumping great distances and like,
yeah, and, like, the really low FPS
cameras
of the 80s.
Like, that's what I want to see with, like, oh, Mirana's throwing the arrow, throwing it with such strength that it has to be in slow motion.
Yeah. And then also get the 80s trope of like taking it from like 10 different angles and replaying it over and over again. We need that in Tekken.
Yeah. Cinematic mode.
I can actually go into cinematic mode in live games. I figured it out a while ago. I don't do it because it's absolutely pointless, but Shenzhen coming on this one. They found Shining on the backlines. This would actually be a good target, but they're throwing a lot his way. Grit is used to secure this kill, but secure it they absolutely will. One hero down, they move to the next. It's Ash leading the charge. First strike through, LWW will fall as well, and that's probably going to be it for now. Everyone else is just scattering to the tree lines, TPing themselves out. So, 2 heroes dead. I think losing Mandalore, maybe a bit of a mistake there from Phoenix.
Still not Medusa. As long as those heroes are not named Medusa, the game is fine.
Yeah. The Jug is still doing very well, though. I'm impressed at how well Kaiko's been able to just kind of farm up and also keep up the tempo this game.
He's done a good job. 6-1 and 4, level 21. He's already got that Blade Fury DPS talent, whereas Medusa's only level 18, but does have a Scotty, Manta, and a Dragon Lance. Working with the double damage too. Like they have a 6k lead, and Phoenix has actually gotten a lot of farm as well.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, no, I mean, 6k I think is kind of starting to get worrying territory maybe for Phoenix, but I'm still, I don't know, I still just feel like until this Medusa dies, I'm not overly concerned. Can the Medusa die? Is that, I guess, the question we should be asking ourselves? Unfortunately, we're not very smart. So I mean, obviously the Medusa can die if she gets like 5 heroes on her, but I just think it's so difficult. Like, they've got so much protection, they've got all these abilities which can kind of help her out. You know, Pit of Malice, Coil, they've got a Lotus Orb as well. How doth Medusa die? You know what I want to see? I want to see a Omni slashing Medusa with split shot going, just running around the fight, split shot everyone. I'm here for that. Get the Lotus on him.
I'm worried about Shining. I can't believe he's got such a little farm on a hero like Underlord.
Yeah, kind of impressive not to be farmed on Underlord, isn't it? But
like, I hate to continue to compare Underlord performances so heavily, but like Amar, when he had this Underlord, he was like never under 150 on the Atrophy Aura additional bonus, and then like he was top of the net worth practically the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, different playstyles from different teams though. You know, obviously OG, they like to prioritize Amar a lot. They like to give him a lot of respect in the draft. They give him last pick a lot of the time as well. So LWW, we're trying to run himself away, but I'm not sure he's getting out of this one. Though Phoenix are actually turning up to defend this one. CTR is here as well. Burst Strike's going to come through. They're going to look for the Medusa, but Stonegate's going to come down now. They run themselves away. That's a BKB on a Sand King, interestingly. That's not going to achieve a whole lot for the moment, but now the Stone Gaze is done. Ash jumps in from the side here, gets off the heels onto the Underlord to lock him down. Meanwhile, the backlines, LWW does get popped. CDR trying to get the attacks in, but just realizing this fight isn't really going to go their way. They lose the Underlord on Phoenix, they'll buy back on the Clockwork and the Bane, and everyone's calling it quits at the moment. Now, Roshan is up, and this might be a pretty tense few moments now for Phoenix. They have to defend without their Coil, without their Gaze. Kaiko immediately running to the backlines here. She wants to find this Medusa and get off the Omni Slash upon her. The grip is there. Omni down, Medusa, the whole kitchen sink thrown away. Medusa is dead. Your queen is dead, Phoenix, and they can't really stick around and fight anymore. Shining is going to get run down once again. That is going to be death number 6 for him. And into the pit we shall go on Shenzhen. Alright, that was huge. That was a moment they've been looking for. Zone. Getting very, very cheeky here, trying to get the kill onto the Sand King.
Oh no! No!
Oh no!
You ever hook shot into a Blayfier with extra damage and just die?
Like a hamster into a blender.
That is what just happened.
Good lord.
Dude, I love Drink's commitment to making sure that they could get this Medusa. Dude dies so quickly in the fight the first time as the Stone Gaze coming on. Then he buys back, chases with Kaiko to try and get the Medusa again. He's getting hit by this split shot so hard, has one more shot left in him, throws up the Fiend's Grip for 0.2 seconds and dies immediately. He's like, at least I got the Fiend's Grip off. And they did kill the Medusa, so it all was worth it in the end.
Got him. That's all you need.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
But what did it cost you?
His life twice, at least, on the Bane.
Ash, he's looking. Respectfully, he is looking. And that Remnant is going to connect, but yeah, he's kind of made a mess of this in this one.
Oh, fake back.
He split a spaghetti on the floor, so maybe a fake back? No, they don't want to take risks. Play around your Juggernaut. Even if you do have an Aegis.
Our scoreline right now, by the way, very funny. You know, because 9-22, but 9 is divisible by 3, thus making...
yes, we did it.
Any way to get there.
It counts.
Ooh, Epicenter?
It counts. Yeah, he's doing it, isn't he? that's the thing that's happening. Now they might still get the puck from it. Alright.
Oh.
Wait, where's that? Oh!
Fiend's Grip. Oh, my gosh.
Go to work. Sorry, the orb only lasted like it didn't go anywhere because he was enfeebled, so the orb barely travels because of the cast range reduction. I don't think I've seen that one before. That's hilarious. Puck looking.
Folks, you wonder why Miposhka picks Bane all the time? It's the enfeeble.
Absolutely. Making these pucks
We share
orbs
a
go
birthday.
like 20 centimeters. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You gonna go and have a joint birthday party together at like Chuck E. Cheese?
No, I'm not good enough at Dota for us to have a joint birthday party.
Are you good enough at Chuck E. Cheese? That's all that matters.
Skee ball, hit me up. They were in Roche. They bailed.
Yeah, the fact that this tier 1 tower in the middle lane is still alive at 30 minutes into the game kind of is, I don't know, is there such a thing as being too Medusa'd up? I think there is. And now they're going for this play at a kind of awkward moment on Phoenix here.
Feels like a last-ditch effort, like they know that Medusa's vulnerable.
Oh my god, they just unleashed everything onto LWW straight off the bat, and YP getting so low in the process. Medusa, she does get off the stone gate. Is it going to make a difference, though? I'm not sure. Get themselves back. BKB from Ash is about to run out as BKB from CDR is popped. He kind of needs to either turn or leave, and he's going to leave. TP out, get himself away from there, but 3 members of his team are already dead. It is a disaster for Phoenix here as they'll move themselves onto the field in Shenzhen.
That CDR making me really nervous because he popped that BKB and waited like 3 or 4 seconds to TP out. I was like, dude, you gotta go. Like, choose either. I even clicked and made sure he didn't have his TP on cooldown.
Yep. There was the egg crashing down whilst he was TPing as well, and he's just like, I know this timing. It's fine. It's okay, Medusa. You go when you want to go.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
All right, little bit danger territory now. As Juggernaut now has himself an Aghanim Scepter.
Oh boy.
But you know, at least with the Medusa in the game, you've always got the copium going. You know, you're always like, oh, don't worry, guys, we've got great tower defense. And you can be like, oh, guys, don't worry, we've got great high ground defense. You know, oh, guys, don't worry, we've got great ancient defense. Guys, don't worry, we've got great fountain defense.
Guys, we have Glyph. For just the fountain, we'll be okay.
Yeah, that's
let them
that's
farm
one of
us in the fountain, and then they'll back up.
That's one of my special moves, actually, is dying somewhere on the map at a really critical time, and I'll just be like, guys, don't worry, we have Glyph, it's fine, what are you worried about? Stop flaming me, it's okay. I checked that we had Glyph before I suicided for this wave itself. I didn't. YP. Oh, okay, hookshot gonna miss. Ash getting very busy on this cuddle right now. The BKP pops from Dolme as well. They want YP and well, they're gonna get him. Now they move across, look towards a clockwork. The sacrificial lamb led to slaughter once more by the side of Shenzhen.
Oh, Fiend's Gate.
Oh, they're moving. They do be moving.
Wait. Where was that Fiend's Gate that allowed Kaiko to go?
It's a kill from this.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that put him like in the same lane as the Medusa. I was super worried for CDR all of a sudden.
Dude, the rest of the team did not commit there. They just let their Juggernaut with Aegis go through the gate alone, and they were like, okay, good luck, buddy. I mean, it was running out. I don't know, maybe they tried to come through and it ran out or something. It was just a solo Jug just chasing the Underlord across the map. I'm so sad he didn't get that kill. That would have been hilarious. Just comes out into the tier 2 tower, just like, alright.
Who left the Fiend's Gate open?
Yeah, come on, guys.
Let the
door.
Jug in.
Who let the Jug? God damn, someone get the Jug out. Gonna come in and throw up on the carpet.
Got fleas.
Jumping onto LWW here. I think he's gonna be okay though. He's got himself a 4-staff now as well. That's his Rod of Safety. Rod of get me the hell away from this Juggernaut.
They're TPing back top
gotta
because
deal with
it's
that
getting
top wave.
pressured, but like, do you? I feel like you could have just pushed in their bottom. You have the Aegis, and they just stop committing.
Yeah, I think this is where our kind of lack of ability shows when we're both like, I mean, it's only a top wave, you know. Everyone seems so obsessed with de-pushing waves and everything. Who cares? Just take building. Top. Oh,
just win the game.
This is a dead Coddle. All right, we've got a new sacrificial lamb on the side of Phoenix now that Clockwork's got his 4-star. Oh my god, they're going for more here, but the force from the clock gonna get Shining out of danger.
Double damage. Bye-bye tower.
Barely even tell he's got double down with the Mjolnir, with the Arcana. Guy's looking jacked.
Which, oh, he's got that sword. Okay, I thought he had something else. I thought he had the Sakura blade.
Oh yeah, the lovely blossom petals. That one's very cool. It does kind of look like he's got it, doesn't it? But when you inspect him, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It shows that he doesn't. How weird. And it doesn't have
Jug
the
has
animation.
some really great cosmetics.
He's got so many cosmetics as well. Like, he is the best dress-up simulator hero.
Yeah, definitely. I like the what was that? That was like that $12 legendary sword set that he's got.
Which one?
I forget what it's called.
Uh-oh, Shining. He tried to go for that lovely, tasty little camp, but I'm not sure he's going to make it. Can they get the full staff upon him? No, he cannot. LWW tries, but no cigar. That is the biggest bait camp as well. And they've even got the Observer down here, which I love. On the side of Shenzhen, they know how tempted teams get. I'll just go and grab that one little camp. Just go and get that one tiny little camp. No one will mind. In and out. 10-second job.
God, Sand King's even outfarming the puck now.
Yeah, this is... They're just letting them sweat. They're letting Phoenix sit on their high ground and wait. But Aegis is gone, and the smoke comes out from Phoenix, so they want to make some plays. Obviously, the Underlord can join them with that Fiend's Gate, so they're not too worried. But immediately,
in trouble though.
Yeah, they're jumping onto zone in the backlines of this fight. Ash looking for the target here onto the puck, but I think the puck's able to get himself out. Meanwhile, Dolmy popping the BKB to try and help himself survive this one. So the gank a little bit disconnected here from Phoenix to start this off. Coil comes out from the puck as he's able to bring down Dolme, wiping down the backlines to Ash, however. Jug is in. He's looking for a target. Is he going to find one? Those. They got the Hex out onto the Medusa. Oh, this is bad. This is very, very bad. The TP away from CDR will be successful once again. But still, it's... I mean, this one isn't too bad, actually. It's a Sand King being traded for the both supports. I mean, at this point in the game, you're going to be happy enough with that one. Delaying things out a little bit longer for the side of Phoenix Gaming. And
I was half hoping... Still.
Very funny, but going through that Fiend's Gate's always... it's always a risky move. Speaking from experience. I can never resist, dude. I can never resist. I see a portal, it looks so cool, it's glowing, it's like, come into me. I'm like, okay, let's see where we're going. Where are we dropping, boys?
I can't name a place to drop at the moment, but I would have, I should have had one on the call.
Yeah, dank Fortnite reference. Well, 13-year-olds got wild in the chat. Yeah, there we go.
Fiend's Grip onto the puck. Hook shot though. LWW going into the backlines, going for a drink. Burrow Strike follows it up, and Dolme trying to get a kill here. And the Blade Fury damage from Kaiko, more than enough damage with the help of the Brain Sap from Drink. Dolme, I'd appreciate if you kept your name Dolme because it was Dilem, and I look at your name and it still says Dilem to my eyes, but it's still...
Oh, Burrow Strike onto 2 reflected, though. That's actually not bad for the side of Phoenix. They're the ones getting the damage off. CDR tearing them apart, but Kyoko, he is on top of CDR right now, but CDR says, actually, you know what? I've grown up. I'm not the same Medusa I was 10 minutes ago. Come here, Juggernaut. I wish to slap you in the face. And Kyoko is definitely receiving so much damage. Is Shining. Use the Fiend's Gate to come around the back. They kill off the Juggernaut. It is the fight going the way of Phoenix. It took a while, but they finally came online. CDR taking down 4 heroes in that engagement. Oh no, it just went really, really wrong for the side of Shenzhen. I mean, all starting from that Lotus Orb on Shining there, the reflected Burrow Strike bouncing through 2 heroes and just setting up Medusa for an easy double kill to get herself into this one.
Shining, bottom 3 in the net worth, but he does have that lone Lotus Orb. This is my Lotus Orb. There are no others like it. Burrow Strike into my Lotus Orbed ally, and, well, you will feel thine wrath. 3 heroes don't have buyback, by the way, so the first set of racks is going the way of the Radiant.
As we cruise over the average game time for Div 2, they will be taking this first lane of Barracks. One lane down. They're going for the second. 30 seconds still on the jug. How did this happen? My goodness.
Wow.
Dota 2 is a video game, friends. It really, really is.
No, this is life. What are you talking about?
Barracks down. Melee Barracks in the top lane. Entirety of the middle barracks going the way of Phoenix Gaming. This is such a turnaround, a U-bend in this game. And now they look towards Roche as well. They want everything. The greedy, greedy Medusa, she does not stop feeding. Her jaw is unhinged, and she's just gobbling up everything that comes her way. The greedy guzzler that she is.
Ooh, this is timing potentially right.
Let's see. I mean, they're just throwing bodies. They're just throwing bodies into Shenzhen to slow them down. They want this agent. Can they get it? No, CDR's going to be the one to grab it. But Kaiko's getting that Butterfury off the side of the pit. The Omni Slash takes down 2. And now the Medusa's respawning. She's got no friends. She's like me on a Saturday night. She's completely alone. And now she's going to get chopped down by the Juggernaut. They bit off way more than they can chew. The greed from Phoenix Gaming knows no bounds, and they find the coddle as well. Bye-bye, Granddad. He's in the grave. Oh, no, 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 no. This was not how it was supposed to go.
Clockwork tried so hard to be like, ha, hook shot you. Now you're not going to get into the pit. Oh, I'm dead in 0.3 seconds, so it doesn't matter, I guess.
Hamster in the blender, baby.
Oh my god, he went right into the blender.
Buyback on the Medusa. We went from Aegis to now having to use buyback. No Divine Rapier in sights for CDR either. That's what he wants. He wanted that Aegis and he wanted the Divine to try and close out this game, but that feels like a pipe dream now. Shenzhen, they're coming for their barracks. They want some revenge. You know, a snake's at its most vulnerable when it's digesting its prey. When it's finished the hunt, it unhinges its jaw and it tries to, like, digest like a, you know, a caribou or something. And it just
I've
sits
unhinged my jaw before.
Oh, really? That sounds horrible. That's like my nightmare.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay.
I do, when I open my mouth, it does make this crack and it sound like I have unhinged my jaw, but...
My jaw cracks because I got punched in the jaw when I was in a martial arts class once, so...
By the teacher?
Yeah. It's very, very weird. I'll tell you the story one day, but...
You told me the story.
Oh, I have, yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing was wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time. No, it wasn't. 18k gold advantage now for Shenzhen. They equalize the barracks somewhat. Yeah, back to 18k. What are you humming about, my friend?
I just gonna have to fight. I don't know. You know what? I mean, if you're Phoenix, I think you gotta wait for this Divine Rapier, or hope that you can wait for this Divine Rapier, which you can.
Yeah.
You do lead in the barracks wars. So innately, top's going to be pushing in, and you still have a range racks mid, so...
Yeah, I don't want to see them make a move without this raid.
They make me go Pog. Or Komodo hype.
Alright, smoke unsuccessful from Shenzhen then. They do get this ward down. 5-man smoke for a ward. And it's gone. Thanks, Gem. Kaiko was trying to threaten that one, but that's not happening. Now has the Abyssal Blade, by the way, so no more TPs out from the Medusa. That ain't going to be happening anymore. You must commit. It's do or die time. It has been for a while for Phoenix, to be honest.
They were doing. But now they might be dying.
Dying for a long time, then doing a bit of doing. Now back to the dying.
Back to dying.
Normal services resumed. Problem is, Medusa, she wants this rapier, but she can't really farm anything. She's just taken the Ancients twice, and she's like, well...
There you
Guess
go.
I'll do middle tower. There we go. Oh yeah, she sent the illusions to middle wave. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. It's rapier time. It's rapier. Oh, never mind. It glided straight past. There we go.
There we go.
I was really worried.
320 movement speed now without those boots.
Yep. It is the slug.
Really slithering.
The slug Medusa. The danger slug.
Somebody put some salt out there. Dome? Oh, I think every caster should be required to acknowledge every single time a Sand King slaps their tail in Epicenter.
Epicenter.
Just like,
Epicenter.
Dome? Oh,
Nope.
Dome?
Epicenter.
You know, because you're always expecting, like, oh, blink in, Epicenter, oh, Dome?
Yeah, especially with Sand King, because, you know, he's that big dude. He used to not have the ability to cancel it, so it's kind of ingrained in your mind where it's like, oh, he's epi. Wait, no, he's not. At least for me, anyway. Old habits die hard. Like with Pangolier, I don't care. I'm like, shut up, Pangolier. But with Sand King, I'm always just like, ooh, is he? They're looking. They're finding. Oh, huge target here on the Juggernaut. Can they bring him down? The Medusa with the Divine Rapier just plowing into the Jug. Sand King trying to just body them on the front lines, but the spins come out from Kaiko, but he still needs to get himself away, but he will do exactly that. Ash on the sidelines, meanwhile, this is a really split fight right now, but he's going to run himself away with that BKB. He's got the Yules as well, but not much else. He's going to have to use the Yules. Oh, dear, he'd already used it. Yikes. See you later, buddy. And now they're just TPing in. They're just going for this right now. Oh no, that's the enemy. My bad. I thought they had boots of travel. Trying to finish this one up. Getting a little too excited there, BQ.
Yeah. They were defending the top set of racks going down. Or the top range racks?
Yep, that's it. That was the one remaining. Staying upright, but huge fight there. Shame they couldn't get the kill on Jug, but we'll take it.
Almost, though, and it was him kind of soloed out. I think they really needed to get that kill. They've got 5x available on Shenzhen. Well, they've got 5x available on everybody but the Medusa and the Coddle, so I think... honestly, the game's pretty even. I don't think the net worth is really a big decisive factor at the moment. Just feels like with that Divine Rapier, Medusa's always just kind of like, I can do this myself. Especially, double damage. Great, this is great.
Okay. 850 damage Medusa coming down your middle lane. What to do?
With Hurricane Pike now, I can get some distance.
Yep. Surprised she hasn't got this ninja gear.
Shot.
Kind of like budget boots, but... Here she comes. The Danger Slug has entered the high ground. Good lord, look at that tower fall. My goodness.
This fight is going to end 5 heroes dead on Phoenix, 3 heroes dead on Shenzhen, calling it now.
Okay.
Very specific.
I respect that. I respect the confidence play.
Alright, I respect the confidence too. They backed up. No fight. I nailed it.
Perfect.
They're going to fight a Roche, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Aegis is... gonna feel much more. I mean, actually, I don't know. It kind of makes me wonder if they should give it to her, because, like, if you're killing the Medusa, her team is dead anyway, right? So what you gonna do? I almost want to see them put it on like Shining or something. I know that sounds crazy, like don't put the Aegis on the Rapier Medusa, but at this point in the game, like it's not her keeping herself alive, it's her team. She also doesn't have any lifesteal, I've just kind of recently noticed. That's why she's keeping the Paladin Sword rather than the Ninja Gear. So that makes a lot of sense. That free Satanic. Very cool.
Oh, long Roche.
A free non-activatable Satanic, but smoke up from Shenzhen. They're going for the racks around.
I honestly thought they should have just pushed down the racks, or at least tried to, right? You force that fight, you've got a double damage as well.
This is...
I think that's such a big opportunity.
They've got so many creeps in their base from Shenzhen, but they feel like they can't leave it because this Roche is respawning any minute now. But yeah, this is pretty awkward. They know this is going on and they jump immediately onto the high ground, just unleashing everything right now. Supernova is trying to fight, but she's out of mana and now she's out of life as well. Rapier on the deck immediately picked up by the Juggernaut. Oh my goodness. Medusa dead for 120 seconds and no buyback. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
Yeah, and they're gonna get YP.
This could be game.
Oh dear.
This could very much be game.
It should be, theoretically.
What did she buy for buyback? Was that Hurricane Pike? Really?
No, that was...
Pike and Sharp?
It could have been at the end of the day, but I feel like... Pike's spawned so long ago.
Dude, this is over. This is over. They're just jumping onto Shining. Shining's dead as well. No buyback available. How do you defend your tier 4s against this? Spoiler, you don't. And they'll throw some bodies into the mix. They'll try and throw a little bit of bait their way, but they will just chop up anything that comes their way.